Well, welcome to another Monday Moments. And today with me, I have Dean John Wilson. I have to tell you that my wife, Wendy, who most of you know, follows this singer, actor, performer, and loves watching him sing on stage and now, of course, virtually. So one of her favourite singers and one of my favourite characters too. So let me introduce Dean and Dean, tell us your story. Why are we here on Monday Moments? What have we got to offer the viewers?
Well, hello there. I'm Dean John Wilson. I am an actor, singer, performer, vocal coach, originally from Middlesbrough and currently living in London. I've been here for the past 10 years working in and around the West End. So, yeah, from shows like The King and I at the London Palladium to Aladdin in the West End. It's been a very, very fruitful career since moving from Middlesbrough. But of late, of recent events, since COVID's happened, the entire theatre industry has gone dark. So there's no work, no nothing, which has led me to go down my other passion, the other route of my passion, which is singing teaching, vocal coaching, giving back to young aspiring actors coming up who are wanting to go into drama school, who are interested in getting on the West End, and hopefully following in some kind of career path like I've done. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
So we used to go and see you in the West End so often that as you're very well aware, Wendy's title in the West End amongst the theatres became West End Wendy. That's what you all
Yeah,
call her on the
yeah.
stage in various theatres in the West End. West End Wendy, she went so often. Um, but help us understand what it was like when this whole world of yours not only reduced so that you, as some of my clients and many viewers of Monday Moments, found their world becoming very difficult. What happened to your world? Because it looks really dark from where I was sitting
Mm.
10 months ago.
Yeah, so a lot of people have this misconception that the West End and tours and theatre is all very sparkles and rainbows and it's all glitzy and there's loads of glamour in that, which one side of it there is, but the other side of it is sheer hard work, having to deal with rejection all the time. You know, in the past 10 years of working in and around the West End, I've probably had about six, seven jobs, but I've probably auditioned 1,000 times more, and getting rejected and being able to build that thick skin, it's tricky. I mean, our industry is just, there's no security in it. And then having COVID on top of that as well, it's just made it 10 times worse. Yeah, this pandemic has really wiped us out. So yeah, you are right. It is quite dark.
So, from darkness back in March last year, what did you do to get out of that? Give us some hope here.
Yeah. So March last year, as I'm sure everyone will agree, nothing could have prepared us for what we were about to embark on. Nothing. No matter any amount of training, no matter where we were, whether we were at top of our game, middle of our game, wherever we were, we couldn't prepare ourselves for that. And what I did was went back to teaching. Now, I've always taught online, people across seas, in America, Canada, virtually. So I knew it worked. So I literally sat in my office for hours and hours on end, working out a program, working out how I can go about teaching people and, reaching more and more and more people, and realized that it was a little bit of a fall from grace, if I'm going to be honest. And What I mean by that is, once upon a time, top of my game, Aladdin, King and I, Palladium, all these. I mean, I'm sure Wendy will tell you, playing these huge West End leading roles, and then to pretty much nothing. I was in a bit of a pit, if I'm going to be honest, and I just had to work from scratch. And I realize now, in hindsight, looking back, that that was my growth, going from the top to pretty much nothing, nothing at all, no work, didn't have a clue where my next paycheck was going to come from, didn't know how I could pay my bills, how I could support my family, anything of those things. It was such a tricky time. And the one piece of advice that I'd love to share and give, and something that has absolutely been 100% game changer for me, is discipline, is just showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel. There are going to be dark times. That's going to happen, and it's going to happen on any business journey or any journey in life, really. Because discipline is doing the things you said you would do long after the mood in which you said them has passed. Because nobody's going to come and hold you by the hand and take you over those speed bumps. Those bumps are going to happen in the road, like this pandemic. You've got to climb over them, and you've got to do it on your own. It's as simple as that. So I realized that every single day I'd have to come into this office and work my socks off, making sure that I was showing up for the people that needed me. Clients, people whose drama schools had closed down. I was then their remote drama school. They looked to me for solace, and they looked to me for help and guidance and a little bit of motivation. And now, even with my clients now, every Monday morning, I sit on and I do a little mindful Monday with them, just to instill a little bit of hope and a little bit of happiness. And yeah, so people started relying on me. So another thing what has really helped me with regards to showing up every day is I have to show up every day, because if I don't, my clients or the people that need me, I don't know what they're going to do. They might be in a pit themselves, and so it's my job, and I have a duty of care to kind of help them out of that pit. So yeah, that's kind of how I overcame them. I understood what my why was. My why was having to show up every single day for the people that need me and care about me, regardless of how I felt. I mean, motivation will get you going. You can sit for 2-3 weeks kind of going, right, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do. But motivation soon passes. And that's okay. That will always come and go. You will always get speed bumps in the road. It's just part and parcel of life and business. But it's showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, is the work of a true professional.
Wow, I love that. So, Dean, just in the few minutes we have left, what I'd love to understand is, how has all this affected you? How have you changed as a person? Have you noticed a change in you?
I'm from a family that has always had solid work ethic. My dad was a worker, my mum is a worker, and the only thing that I've known all my life has been solid work in whatever it is I do, and giving 100% and showing up regardless of how you feel. How it's changed me as a person, it was incredibly scary, David, if I'm going to be honest, when this first hit me. No work, theatres were closed, film sets were closed. Once upon a time, I was earning a very decent salary, and now nothing, like zero. Didn't know how I was going to. So for me, I mean, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist. Like, I always like to be the one who can support, whether that's emotionally or financially. I've just been brought up in that environment. Maybe it's a northern thing, I don't know, but I've always felt that I've had that on my shoulders. I've always wanted to be able to support in some way or other. And I felt powerless, completely powerless when this pandemic hit. But I honestly think there is a silver lining in all of this. There's a huge blessing in disguise. And that is being able to have been put at the bottom. Somebody's pressed the reset button, and now everybody in the world, regardless of the industry that you're in, has got 24 hours in the day. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with those 24 hours? And it made me realize that time is precious. We only get one shot at this, and time is ticking. So why wait? I never ever, that's been the biggest thing that I've learned from this pandemic, that, you know, life is precious, time is ticking, and we can do the things that we want to do if we believe in them. If we show up every single day, regardless of how we feel. And I honestly believe that this has been the biggest learning curve for me when it comes to my business, or even comes to, you know, theatre and work and stuff. You know, I have to deal with rejection every single day, but I feel like this has been the biggest rejection of all time. And if we can all overcome this pandemic, we can overcome anything.
Wow. Good lesson. That's a moving lesson, Dean. Thank you for sharing that with us. So I'm really sad, but we come to the conclusion of Monday Moments. It's just been good with being with your spirit, not just being with you, Dean, but being with your spirit. You've given Wendy and I a lot of joy as we've sat in some front stalls and some boxes and so on and so forth in West End theatres, and whooped and screamed and hollered at you and whistled and thrown things on stage, or whatever we've done that's absolutely naughty. I sat beside West End Wendy many times, just listening to you, and I know that Wendy has spent a lot of time listening to you singing, and we're very moved by some of the songs that catch us just at a tearful moment. So thank you for everything you've done for our family. But thank you for sharing, really coming up from the darkness into light with us today, and the lessons you've learned. Thank you for being here for Monday Moments with us. Really appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's look forward to another Monday Moments next week. Dean John Wilson, thank you.